This is how I met my husband. Listen to me and then tell me what you think. I've always been the kind of woman who had her life in control. A 27-year-old lab scientist, big, bold, beautiful, and unapologetically hardworking. I knew how to handle a microscope, solve complex chemical problems, and hold my own in a male-dominated field. But when it came to men, let's just say, they never knew how to handle me. They were either intimidated, selfish in bed, or just plain clueless. I had long accepted that true sexual fulfillment was a fantasy reserved for romance novels, until he walked into my life. It all started in the most ridiculous way. I walked into the men's locker room at the gym. I just finished my morning workout, sweaty and focused, probably too much in my own head. I pushed the door open and froze. There he was. Tall. Broad. Dressed in nothing but a towel slung around his waist, his body glistening from the shower. Salt and pepper hair, a chiseled jawline, and the kind of confident calm that made time slow. But it was his eyes that got me, intense, sharp, and steady. Then my gaze dropped. I gasped, cheeks flaming, heart racing. He didn't panic. Didn't cover himself. He simply tilted his head and gave me the most wicked, knowing smack I'd ever seen. "Wrong room," he said, voice like aged whiskey. I muttered an apology and darted out, but my body burned the entire day. I had to see him again. It didn't take long. A week later, fate, or maybe desire, brought us face to face again in the gym lobby. His name was Richard Lawson. 55. A successful businessman. And a widower. We had coffee. Then lunch. Then dinner. Every conversation peeled back another layer of this mysterious man. He was intelligent, cultured, and so in control of himself. He listened. He watched. He understood me. And I was falling fast. That night, after dinner, we went back to his place. I'll never forget the way he undressed me, slowly, reverently. The way his hands mapped my body like he'd studied it in a past life. The way he kissed me until I forgot my name. It wasn't just sex. It was an awakening. He made love to me like a man who knew women, not just our bodies, but our emotions, our needs. He teased me, worshipped me, held me down and lifted me up, all in the same breath. For the first time in my life, I felt seen. Desired. Satisfied. We started seeing each other more, dates that turned into nights, nights that turned into mornings. I couldn't get enough of him. Then one evening, it happened again. I had just stepped out of the shower when he came over. I opened the door, still wrapped in a towel. His eyes darkened with desire, and before I could say a word, he was carrying me back into the bathroom. He pinned me gently against the tiles, steam curling around us. He kissed me like I was his last breath. And when he entered me, there, with the water cascading over our tangled bodies, I lost all control. I came harder than I ever had. Shaking, crying out, clinging to him like a lifeline. And when it was over, when we stood there catching our breath in the steamy silence, I looked into his eyes and blurted the words that changed everything. "Marry me." He chuckled at first, but I was dead serious. I'd never felt safer. Never felt so much. "Marry me, Richard," I whispered again. His eyes softened. He cupped my face and kissed me, long and deep. "If you mean it," he said, "then yes." The day we got married was small, intimate, just like us. A garden ceremony. Soft music. My heart in his hands. As I walked down the aisle, I saw tears in his eyes. And when he said his vows, promising to honor me, protect me, and keep loving me even when we're gray and wrinkled, I knew I'd made the best decision of my life. Now, every night I fall asleep in his arms. Every morning, I wake to his kisses. And every time we touch, it still feels like the first time, only deeper, stronger, and more consuming. I used to think great love stories were for other people. But then I met Richard. And now, I am the love story.